and they will anoint the king again after the king becomes an official king. So there is reigning with the father, holy, and actually becoming an official king.
Gotcha.
That one, he got anointed 2 times.
Twice.
Yes, he got anointed at a younger age, and he got officially anointed on his 40s for a specific purpose. Why?
Why?
Let me
Why?
explain to you why. The reason why is because if you have a sibling, a brother or sister or a relative, and you're next in throne,
Okay.
when you are anointed the first time,
Okay.
it demolishes the argument of who will become king. We already have a king that is chosen. So when that time comes, your brother or your third brother doesn't fight over that role, so they anoint first time and a second time. That is not a contradiction. It's Uthman's misunderstanding, I would say.
Thank you. Well, I am so happy you're here to clear up my misunderstandings.
Yes.
Thank you, Moses.
Yes.
So, brother, please stay. Sit down. Brother, sit. Brother, sit down.
I'll debate him after.
Listen. Jazakallah khair. Who asked you to speak, brother? Okay. So now Moses is saying this is not a contradiction. This is a Uthman misunderstanding.
Yes.
I like that. You coined that. So you're saying Isaiah was 22 years old when he became king, means he didn't actually become king. He was anointed.
Yes, he was anointed.
Okay. And he reigned 1 year in Jerusalem. So he was anointed and he ruled 1 year.
He was sorry?
I'm reading the verse. Isaiah was 22 years old when he became king, and he reigned 1 year in Jerusalem.
Yeah.
So when he was 22, he reigned for how long?
1 year.
1 year. So his reign finished when he was 23. Everybody got that?
Yeah.
Okay. His mother's name was Athaliah, the granddaughter of Omri. So when did he rule Jerusalem? Not another city, not another. Was when he was 22,
Yeah.
and he ruled for how long?
He ruled for 1 year.
1 year. So he finished ruling when he was 23, 1 year. Okay. In 2 Chronicles, it says Isaiah was 42 when he became king. And he reigned 1 year in Jerusalem. So I'm a little confused now. Uthman misunderstanding. When he finished his 1 year of ruling, he was 23. So what happened when he was 42?
He ruled in Jerusalem, right?
Both of them are Jerusalem.
Yeah, true.
What do you mean true? That doesn't make. If he ruled at 22 and he finished ruling at 23, Isaiah was 42 when he became king and he reigned 1 year. So if he finished at 23, what happened when he was 42? Did you just say that's right? That was a question. The question is, if he ruled at 22 and he finished ruling, because you studied this one, Uthman misunderstanding, Uthman's an idiot. I got you, right? I'm with you. Moses is going to clear it up for me.
Sure. Go for it.
My boy. I'm so glad you're here. If he ruled at 22, yes, 1 year, Jerusalem, not he was anointed in another city like Jerusalem, both verses. You said he finished ruling, his 1 year was over when he was 23. But here it says he was 42 when he became king. And he reigned for 1 year. So his 1 year, was it when he was 22?
1 year was in 22, and 1 year he was 42.
Okay. If he ruled when he was 22, and he ruled again when he was 42, then it would be 2 years.
The only option is probably he stopped ruling.
Oh.
He ruled again.
But then he would have ruled for 2 years. If you were the president of Australia for 1 year, and then you became the president again for 1 year, then you would have ruled for 2 years.
That's right.
But this says 1 year. Now I'm going to ask you another question because I like you. And you've studied this.
like it too.
And you said this is my misunderstanding. His father was 32-year-old when he became king. How old was he?
32.
He reigned in Jerusalem for 8 years. You want to take your phone and do some math, or you got your mental math?
Oh, I got it.
You're good, Moses. So if he was 32, his father, and he ruled for 8 years, how old was he when he died? Yeah, you guys are cheaters. Let him do it, bro. How old was he? 44. Your math sucks. Take your calculator out. That's why I gave you the option. Take your calculator out. No, take your calculator. I'm being nice. I'm letting you calculate it. I'm letting you cheat on your test. No, calculator. Don't put it in Google, bro. You don't have a calculator? What kind of phone do you have? All right, I'll give you my calculator. I am so glad you came today, because I want to be educated. Okay, here's my calculator, okay? So, please. His father's 32 years old when he became king. So put 32. 48. Bro, what are you doing? 32. Moses. I like that name.
Sorry, it's actually my first time being in a lot of...
Oh, you're good, man. You're so confident. You no mistake or misunderstanding. Woo! You're on fire, son.
in front of a crowd.
32.
Okay.
So he was 32 when he began to be a king. And he reigned for 8 years. So plus 8. Yeah, 8 equals.
Can't believe I'm in front of that much crowd.
Yeah, you're doing great. 40. So how old was he when he died?
40.
He was 40 because you studied this one. That's why I'm choosing this one, because you brought it up, not the other ones. Okay. He reigned in 8 years. No one was sorrow about his death, but they did bury him in the city of the David. Then the inhabitants of Jerusalem made Ahaziah his youngest son. His youngest son was made the king, right, when he died. And Ahaziah was 42 at that time. So Moses, my question to you is, how can a youngest son be 2 years older than his father?
That's what I want to see. How can? I don't know.
But you studied this one. You came to correct my misunderstanding.
Yeah.
That's not a contradiction in the Bible. It's a Uthman misunderstanding. Ooh, sorry.
I studied that.
Yes, you did. So give me an answer.
I didn't look at that.
But no, you studied Isaiah, but you didn't look at the verse?
I've studied. I mean, sometimes you read a verse, yeah?
No. You came here
sure.
saying that I studied this one, and Uthman, you got a misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Now I'm just asking you, in the same, right there, I'm not taking you to something else.
I see.
How could his father be 40 and the youngest son be 42?
I don't know. I'll look into that. That's what it's all about.
It's all about
I think you
clarifying
do the same
Uthman's
with
misunderstandings.
You do the same with the hadith.
Okay, no problem. I gave you the chapter and verse. Good. We're enjoying this as an opportunity. Thank you. So, what's beautiful is, and this is a great workshop. I like this. You know, this is a practical example, right? Which is that when you say about the hadith, I asked you what book, you have no idea. I am showing you book, chapter, and verse in front of you. In fact, I didn't bring this up. You did. Because this is something you had already studied.
I've read it.
No, you said you studied it, bro. You got this on tape, on video? Didn't he say he researched it and he looked up the traditions and Uthman, you don't know what you're talking about?
No, I
did.
did.
You did. So if you did, if you researched it and you looked into it and there's no contradiction, how can a son, youngest son, be 2 years older than his father?
Okay, you say that's a contradiction, right?
Yeah, well, I think so. Maybe it's my misunderstanding.
You know what I will do?
Yes.
I will take that with me.
Ooh, you'll take it. I like that
I'll take
style,
it.
bro.
I'm not throwing it away.
All right. Take it with you.
And I'm gonna do a deeper study.
Deeper study.
To read it.
To reread
And
it.
to educate myself. in it.
Educate yourself.
If I stand here and you show me this, and I just say, it's a contradiction,
That would be
I
truth.
go home that would be dishonest in my part.
Okay, if
The
you think
reason
so.
why is because I have to look, I have to examine,
Okay.
and I have to study. Kind of like this, how if you study the Quran, it says that Muhammad said, I am the first Muslim.
Yes.
Another verse says that Abraham is the first Muslim.
Yes.
You can't just say, oh, it's a contradiction.
Yes.
Is Muhammad the first Muslim or Abraham the first Muslim?
Right.
You have to actually study and research. And most Muslims will say, no, he was talking to the people at that time among that ummah.
I got you.
He's the first Muslim.
Let me respond. Okay.
There we go. Yeah.
So, for example, I'm not saying I have to go home and study this or any of that. I'm responding right now on the spot.
Go
Okay.
for it. Go for it.
If I told you I was the first one in the masjid,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Early this morning, I was the first one, right? Is that true? It could be, if I'm the first one there, right? And if somebody says, right, 100 years later, that I'm the first one that got to the masjid, because that day, they're the first one that got there, is there a contradiction?
No.
Okay, good.
Could it
If
be
I-
the
hold
same
on.
with the Bible?
I am. I'm getting to that, right? So if you talk about Ibrahim alayhi salam, right, and you talk about Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you have thousands of years between them, right? So that would make sense that he was the first at his time, like we talked about going to the mosque, and Muhammad sallam was the first to believe in the message that was revealed to him in his time. That makes sense. I got you. My name is Uthman. My son's name is Yusuf. Okay? He's my eldest son. Okay? I am going to expose my age here, even though I shouldn't, even though I know I look young. I'm 47. Can you believe it? That's young? I like it. Right? My son is 20. He's not my youngest. He's my oldest. The one younger than him is 18. Then I have a daughter that is much younger, she's 9. And then I have a daughter that's 7. So my youngest child is 7. Can my youngest daughter ever, in any possible way, be older than me when I die?
I agree.
That cannot be.
That's impossible.
That's impossible. That's not a Uthman misunderstanding.
That's why you are saying
That is impossible.
the Bible has an error. That's the reason why.
I'm not saying, you're saying it right now, because a son,
Can I say, yeah.
hold on, you're saying that 32 plus 8 is 40. And if somebody dies at 40, and the people take his youngest son to make him king, and his youngest son is 42, that's a mistake. Now, let me take it a step further. Let me be nice. I looked up Christian study Bibles. Huh? For example, the MacArthur Study Bible. He said, this is an error. It's a copyist error. Unlike what you said earlier, that you went to the early manuscripts and none of those errors are there. He said, this is an error.
There's two. There's Ahaziah and there's also
Jehoiachin.
Jehoiachin. One of the two. I think it's probably. I'm learning. I'm growing.
Okay.
That's my opinion. Probably could be Jehoiachin.
It probably could be Jehoiachin what?
Yeah, this could be the era. It could be Jehoiachin.
No.
One of the two.
This is Isaiah.
Yeah.
We're not talking about Jehoiachin.
I know. What I'm saying here is, you know how I told you that I did a study
Okay.
on it was probably one of them, Jehoiachin or
You said Isaiah. Didn't he say Isaiah?
Yeah, I said Isaiah.
Okay, so
I'm not denying
why are we
it.
going to
I'm not
Jehoiachin?
denying it. Yeah, so all I can say is this.
That there's an error.
From what I am seeing right now, there seems to be an error. I can't completely tell you that there is an error. Why?
Takbir!
I can't completely say it's an error. You know why?
Go home, look it up.
I've got to study, do a study.
I got you.
And honestly, if this is an error, I'm going to be honest and say this is an error.
I like you, Moses.
I'm gonna be honest.
You're gonna be Muslim.
I mean,
Inshallah.
I need
All
to.
right.
I have questions about.
Since you mentioned Jehoiachin, let's look at it. Jehoiachin was 8 years. Oh, sorry. You want to read it for me? Good.
Jehoiachin was
18 years old when he became king, and he ruled for 3 months. In the same Bible,
Rampage.
got too many errors to look through. No, I really have too many tabs, sorry.
Jehoiachin was 8 years old when he became king and reigned in Jerusalem 3 months.
Okay. So here, he was 8 and 18. And he ruled for 3 months. So you cannot say he ruled twice because 3 months.
And 3 months is a short period.
It's a very short period. Yes, you're right.
He ruled for 3 months, and
Okay.
could it be Uthman that he ruled in a different place for another month?
That could be. Except it says the
That's why I
place.
gave a definition of their anointing.
I got you. The problem you have with that is actually says where he ruled.
Yeah, Jerusalem, 100%.
Are there 2 Jerusalems?
But can you rule again?
You could, but then it would not be 3 months.
Okay.
Then it would be 6 months.
Says who? Uthman?
Math? Okay. If you ruled Jerusalem for 3 months, and then you ruled again for 3 months, use a calculator. No, brother, sorry. 3 months, I know, 3 months
Yeah.
plus 3 months equals.
6, right?
Thank you.
That's right. But these are different times.
Right.
One says he's 6.
Is it, one says 8, not 6,
Okay, one says 8. What does the other say?
18.
18. So those are obviously different times, right?
No, right? Because both of them are the same city, so your idea that a different place is not true, and both of them mention that the rule was only 3 months.
But
If you ruled Jerusalem for 3 months, and you ruled it again for 3 months, then you would have ruled for 6 months, right? So
I mean,
go home, look it up. It's okay.
that's
I got you.
true if it's the same time period. You can't just connect these different times together.
It's the same person, same time.
But the ages are different. How is it the same time?
That's why you see a letter here.
Yeah.
That's an A, right? And it says that these do not read from the manuscripts that have all the numbers. They contradict the other manuscripts, right? So what you have is a contradiction between manuscripts. That's why McCarthy Study Bible says this was a mistake in the writing. The 8 and 18 writes the same. There's a line that the scribal error became. McCarthy Study Bible. This is just a...
Let's read that.
No, keep going. Right here. Some of the Hebrew manuscripts, Septuagint, Syrian, and 2 Kings reads 18. So the manuscripts here that read 8, the other ones contradict it to say 18.
An enemy has been slain.
Okay.
So you see the contradiction between your manuscripts are still there in your book. So your idea when you first came up here that, oh, we fixed these by looking at early manuscripts is not true.
Okay. That's my study.
You're learning today. My misunderstandings got cleared up.
Okay, yeah.
All right. So you've studied a few of these. So I'm very interested in the Passover. You do believe Jesus resurrected, right?
I do. Yeah.
So